we shouldn't be in a position where the midfielder that we need isn't available. Having said that, would Ten Hag start Ugarte if he was here, or would he stick him on the bench for some weird reason because he wants to pick the player that doesn't work? Brendan says take a walk around the garden. Rashford, Scott, Maguire won't be starters on any of the other top teams. They need to be sold, says Prajwell. Buys a new striker and a centre-back but doesn't start them, says Thomas. United back to ruining the weekend. Mark he started Martinez and Maguire over Varane against Brighton as a United manager after what? We never saw Maguire. Hope we never see him again, says Abhijit. Right, I'm doing player ratings. So, player ratings, let's get into it. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. I'd say Onana today was a 6, 5.3 for you. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'd say he was a 6 today. I thought that, I mean, there's not a lot you can say on either goal. He's not, you'd like him to save them, but they would be worldies if he did. So, I'd give him a 6. We're never going to, for Onana to be a goalkeeper that everyone likes, we need to play a high line. We played so deep today. It was ridiculous. Mazraoui, I'd probably give him a 6. I thought he kept Mitoma very, very quiet in the game, but never really got forward enough. We don't utilise the right-hand side enough, so I'd give him a 6. Maguire, for me, was a 5. I thought he was better in the second half, but in the Premier League, away from home, he can't be gifting goals away, and he had 2 opportunities to deal with that cross, and he didn't. He cost us the goal. I don't think he was dreadful, but he cost us a goal, and I've seen this movie many times. I don't know why he started. 5 for me. 4 from you. Martinez, 6 for me. Didn't really do anything majorly wrong. I don't think he works with Maguire very well. I think we've seen that actually over the last 2 years, that Martinez and Maguire actually don't work well together. I think Martinez is better with Lindelof from what I remember, but I thought he was a 6. Delot, you know what? I probably would have given Delot man of the match. I'd give Delot I'd give him a 6.5, and I would have given him man of the match because I thought he was very good, but he's at fault for the winner. Like, where is he? Where is he on that back post? Like, he's the left back, and I don't know. I'd love to know what the explanation was, because you look at the winner by Pedro, there's another Brighton player there as well. There's nobody on the back post, and I don't understand why. And it reminds me of Chelsea last season, and we're not learning. Delot, Chelsea equalise at Stamford Bridge. He loses his head, he loses his position, and he starts going to try and score a winner, and they score a winner. And here we are at Brighton. He's had a good game again, and he's lost his head because he's not in the position he needs to be in. And we're just not learning, are we? Like, better to draw than lose. Casemiro, for me, I'd give him a 5. I don't see this glow up that people are seeing. I see a player that's can play a really good pass and then can play a really shit pass. I see a player that can make a good tackle and then completely mess it up. 350k a week, I do not see. I see a player that has moments, good and bad. I don't see 350k a week. Mainu today's got to be a 6. I thought, again, there was moments that were good, but he looked tired in the last 20 minutes. So I'd give him an average 6. Mason Mount shouldn't have started the game and actually would have been quite useful off the bench. Yeah, I would give him a 6. I don't think Mason Mount was shit. I really don't. I just don't think he should have started. I think he would have been a very good player to bring on for Bruno instead of McTominay with 15 minutes to go. But starting him makes the system shit. It doesn't work with Mount and Bruno in the team. You can't shoehorn a player in. We create nothing. The press is good. We don't concede many chances because we've got 4 midfielders, but we don't create anything. The system doesn't work with Mount and Bruno in it. So, but Mount wasn't bad, but the system needed to be changed. That would be my explanation. Bruno, I thought was a 6. I thought he was okay. Never should have been brought off. It wasn't his best performance, but he shouldn't have been brought off. And I've said enough about that. Ahmad, I think I'm going to give man of the match to, and I'm going to give him the start. I know we've lost the game, but if he doesn't score that goal, we would have lost it by more. We need to get the ball down the right-hand side more. And we didn't get the ball down the right-hand side enough. But when we did, he goes and scores a goal like that. I think he could have had a better performance, but in a game, 6 is average. I'm giving him good for getting a goal. That's what I'm doing. So I'd give Ahmad a 7. Rashford, at this juncture, what are we saying? What are we actually saying here? He needs to go to the bench. I'm going to give him a 5. He needs to go to the bench. I wouldn't say he was dreadful, but I'm tired of saying that. What did I say about Casemiro? We're paying Casemiro 350k a week. We're paying this guy 300k a week. We're being robbed by both of them. I can't sit here and protect a player on that wage and say he wasn't terrible. Like, we are getting no value out of him at all. He shouldn't be in the team. I don't know what the excuse is now. He's had the summer off social media. He's had the summer being dropped by England. Are we at a point now where we're actually saying he's been figured out? There's not going to be a sudden glow up. He's been figured out. Like, where's this glow up coming from? It wasn't like he's not getting the opportunity to take players on. He just can't get past them. It's not like he's not getting the opportunities to get in behind. He can't stay on side. I don't know where this glow up's coming from, because at the moment, this form from Rashford, in the nicest possible way, has been going on for longer than a year. The form he's in has been going on for a year. So how likely is it we're going to get a switch to something better? I don't know. Garnacho would be a 6 for me. When he comes on, things happen. Look, there was a couple of times where he lost the ball, but there's a couple of times where things happen. He should start for Manchester United. It's as simple as that. Scott McTominay, 5.5. It's not his fault he came on, but, you've got Xerxes, you've got Ahmad, and you've got Garnacho. You just need a creator. And you bring on a guy. He's just not a creator, is he? Xerxes, I'd probably give him a 6. I thought he came on and did reasonably well. He should be starting games. He was very unlucky, to be fair. I felt bad, really, because I was just so frustrated that we didn't score. But I think he was a bit unlucky. And he should be starting games of football as well. But I'm livid. I'm just so fed up with that. De Ligt did okay when he came on. I don't get what people are talking about like Maguire cost us a goal. I'd have subbed him off at half time. I certainly wouldn't have started him. De Ligt for Maguire did nothing for that game, other than minutes for De Ligt. The De Ligt Maguire substitution makes no difference. We were defending deep anyway. It wasn't why we conceded. Anthony, 5 for ducking the tackle. Watch it back. Watch the winner back. He could have put a tackle in. He bottles it. They put the cross in. I ain't got time to talk about players like this, really. I haven't got time. 3. It's got to be 3. It has to be 3, because it wasn't one bad decision. It wasn't just Bruno for McTominay. It was starting Maguire. It was starting Rashford over Garnacho. It was starting Mount over Xerxes. It was just, there was too many today to not pin it solely on the manager. Ahmad, man of the match, 56%. Yeah, it's hollow though, isn't it? Because we've lost the game of football. Which is devastating. It's a crap loss to have right at the start of the season, if we're being honest. And I don't really know what to say. I was stunned by the goal. these things can happen. I'm not taking anything away from Brighton. There was no controversy with the referee. We conspired to lose that game because the manager did it. Michael says something isn't right with Rude there, like Arteta being Emery's second, waiting in the background. It does feel weird. It feels weird, Michael. It does feel weird. And Rude is not backwards in coming forwards and being on camera as well every time we score a goal or something. It does. I don't think that looks like a good fit. I hope I'm wrong. It feels to me like, I don't know. I don't feel like Ten Hag and Rude look like they're together. But look, we've got Liverpool next week. That's a very disappointing loss, second game of the season. Very, very disappointing. Right, I will be back on the channel later on tonight, 8 o'clock show, but we've got the fan forum now and I'm doing Villa against Arsenal. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. I can't hide my disappointment and I'm not going to start ranting and raving about sacking this and that. It's way, way too early for that. But just, yeah, solely on the manager. I hope he owns it. You can't fucking pick teams like that and those sort of decisions. And that's very, very worrying. Very, very worrying. But look, I tell you what, we can all unpack that, but you've got to say credit to Brighton. They, in the last 10 minutes, look like the better side because Ten Hag inexplicably, and has never done it before, took Bruno Fernandes off in a game where we shouldn't have took him off. From start to finish, his team selections were absolutely shite. Absolutely shite. Look, I'm not getting into sack Ten Hag and all that. We know they've been lurking. There'll be certain journalists, there'll be certain media outlets, there'll be certain fans that are celebrating this and, justifying I told you so. The sacking of the manager is not on the agenda here, and it actually doesn't do justice to the fact that we should be talking about what actually went wrong in that game, because he will be in charge next week against Liverpool and for a considerable period of time. There's no way Ineos are sacking Ten Hag anytime soon. So, look, I wanted this manager to stay. I wanted the third year. I said before the game, when the team news came out, I was stunned. Absolutely stunned. And that is a disaster class. I'm furious with Ten Hag. I'm absolutely furious. I can list off the things he's done wrong, right? First of all, McTominay's meant to be sold to fucking Napoli this week. Why is he coming on for Bruno Fernandes in a game when it's 1-1 and we need to win? What planet are you on that you think that's a good idea? What kind of shit sorcery is this? You take Bruno Fernandes off, who has got probably more assists than anybody in the Premier League, for a guy who's never had an assist. And the momentum of the game changes completely. And not only that, he's the bloody captain. Bruno was laughing as he came off. I think he was as surprised as anybody else. You take the captain of the team and the most creative player off when we're hitting them constantly on the break, and he actually provided the assist for Garnacho. Something in Ten Hag's head went, we're killing them on the break here. My captain's a focal point of that. We're killing them on the break. If we just need to be calm, play the right pass and we'll win it. And then something in his head goes, I know, let's take off the captain, who will provide the calmness and the biggest creator, for Scott McTominay. And let's play McTominay as a number 10. Absolutely stunning. And that was the moment where we lost the game. Because at that point, we were hitting them on the break all the time. He takes Bruno off, he puts McTominay on, game over. We didn't have a good chance after that. Incredibly crap decision. And he needs calling out on it. He needs calling out on it because it was absolutely incredible. But it wasn't just that. Let's go back to the start of the team. We've got a manager who waits for problems before he puts solutions in. I would say finishing 8th in the league last year and nearly losing your job was a big enough problem to solve without picking the players that put you in that position again over your new signings. To all the morons who said, well, I agree with him picking the team that beat Fulham last week. It didn't beat Fulham last week. It was Xerxes and Garnacho that beat Fulham last week, and they were back on the bench again for the likes of Mount and Rashford. So he didn't even pick the team that beat Fulham. He stuck with a team last week that didn't actually make any bloody sense, and then had to take 2 of those players off. And also, on top of that, he does something that I find absolutely incredible. Incredible. And it shouldn't be missed. Harry Maguire has been at this club for 5 years. He cost £80 million. And in that 5 years, he has never established himself as a centre-back that we all go, we can build a team around him. So why is he starting games now when you've bought a centre-back that everybody understands is going to be a centre-back that's meant to build the team around? De Ligt and Martinez. So we go away from home, he puts De Ligt on the bench and he starts Harry Maguire because he's got this weird mentality, and he did it with Casemiro when we bought him 2 years ago. He kept picking McTominay until McTominay made a mistake. So he picks Maguire until Maguire makes a mistake. So we've got to concede a goal before he'll start playing a new signing. I can't get my head around this. You've bought a guy to play in our defence that's had a problem for years. You start a new season and you pick the guy from last season who was a problem over the solution. What madness is that? And guess what happens? It costs us a goal. We lose that game 2-1. If De Ligt starts the game, there's no way that we concede that first goal. It's mad. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And last week, Mount and Bruno didn't work. So he does it again. And then he takes Mount off at half-time because he has to get Xerxes on. And then he takes Bruno off and he can't bring Mount on because he already fucking started him. So he's got to bring McTominay on. It's just an absolute shower of shit. An absolute shower of shit. And there's no point in talking about sacking. And there's no point in individualising it. That is what God knows what's happens this season. Hopefully we can still get top 4. Hopefully we can have a good season. But there's nowhere else to go. That is on the manager. The manager has messed that up. Like, why is De Ligt not starting? You pick Maguire, who's made mistakes for years and makes another bloody mistake. Why is Xerxes not starting? He scored last week and he doesn't work without a striker. And effectively, we've lost the game 2-1 and we really should have won it and we could have got a draw out of it. So imagine if he'd made the right decisions. We lose against Brighton away from home with a last-minute winner. And Ten Hag made about 6 decisions across the game and before it that contributed to a 2-1 loss. If he'd have just made 2 or 3 decisions better, we would have won the game. If he'd have picked De Ligt over Maguire, we wouldn't concede the first goal. If it had kept Bruno on the pitch, we wouldn't have conceded the winner. It's just, I can't look anywhere else other than the manager today. I don't think the performance was that bad. I really don't think the performance was that bad. I don't think it was amazing, but I don't think it was that bad. I just think the manager has cost us the game. And he needs to learn very, very quickly because he's absolutely cost us the game. And also, I just want to say as well, why? What is he doing? Is he getting external pressure? I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. I don't want to talk about Rashford really, but he ain't good. He ain't good last season. He ain't good this season. He ain't good. I don't think he was terrible, but he offers nothing. He doesn't offer anything. He doesn't offer creativity. He doesn't offer goals. He doesn't offer really hard work. He offers next to nothing. He should be on the bench as an impact player, like Anthony. Why is Garnacho back on the bench for Man United? I don't understand this. This is a lad who's worked his arse off for the last 2 years from the bench to be a first-team player. And now he's back on the bench again. Why is Garnacho back on the bench? I was furious about that before the game and I didn't say anything because I was like, I don't want to be that guy. But now I will be. Why is Garnacho back on the bench? I don't get it. He's the best winger we've got. Why is he on the bench? Why are we still trying to give people a chance that have had their chance? Maguire's had his chance. Rashford's had his chance. Get De Ligt in the team, get Garnacho in the team, get Xerxes up front. Like, obviously, I want Agate to come in, but I don't get it. I don't get what's going on here at United at the moment. I'm really confused because it's meant to be Ineos, Ten Hag, new structure, new signings, and he's picking the same old shit, making the same old decisions. I'm confused as to what the plan is. I've got no idea what team he's going to pick against Liverpool. None.